Greetings, programs. We're back, man, with another episode of Space Jockeys. It's been a while. It's been several weeks, and
it has.
I kind of forgot what was going on, man. It was like,
well, we ran into a lot of scheduling hiccups early on after episode 2 with Chronicles of Riddick.
Yep.
And then I left town. You had some surgeries. So everything kind of got set back, and we actually there for a few minutes we were just like, I don't even know if we're gonna do this anymore, but I'm glad we got everything squared away and we're freaking back, man.
It's nice to be able to talk about some stuff. Hey man, like I watched Alien Romulus again today, and I don't care what any of these people say trash in the movie. I love that movie. I'm an Alien
great movie
fanatic, and I love that movie.
Like we were talking about on first episode, I can understand a lot of the critique of the movie, and I totally get it. And I think those arguments are valid, but it doesn't hurt my opinion of the film. I still enjoy it. I can watch it on loop.
Yeah, I can too. I was thinking about watching it again tonight when I go to bed, and it's like, and I can understand, like, I'm not the biggest fan of that ending section, and I can see how Ridley Scott forced him to put that in there. And I'm pretty sure he had his hand in that, man, because trying to tie it into Prometheus with the black goo and all that kind of stuff. But I think it was done well, though, and the practical effect, everything, and the sound design. I love it. And I was looking at getting a physical copy because it's on digital now, and then they're just like coming on in December 5th on VHS, and I'm like, who wants to buy VHS? Do you understand how
I do?
I don't, man. I've got a stack of I think a bunch of Dragon Ball Z episodes because I didn't have a DVD player at the time, and our Blockbuster would come out each week. It was like the Boo Saga, and I'd buy a new one. Man, I got a box full of those. Those things are full of lead or something because that box weighs a ton, man. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's gonna be. DVDs. It's just like, and soundtracks. I was thinking about getting the Alien Isolation soundtrack. It's like on vinyl and cassette. Cassette tapes are dog shit, man. Those things are total fucking trash, man. They were trash, but man, I grew up with that crap in the 80s. You sitting there, all right, I want to hear so and so, and then I'm like, got to fast forward and fast forward.
Right.
My best friend had a CD, and I was like, how long does it take to get to the next song? And he just pressed the button like that long, and I was like, I thought it was like, what is this? This is like what, magic.
Dude, I remember the same thing because I grew up toward the end of the cassette cycle, and if you're kind of a poor kid growing up, that end of the lifespan of cassettes and VHS lasted a lot longer for us than it did everybody else.
Man.
All your friends got CDs. Like when we're exchanging gifts, it's like, you know who the poor kids are. They're the ones like, oh, okay, I got you CD, yes, and I got you a cassette of Alice in Chains. There you go.
I had like a stack of cassettes and everything, man, and it was just like, this is crap too, man, because a CD, unless you scratch it all up, it sounds the same all the time. A cassette, you listen to it a few times and they just the quality just keeps going down, man.
I do have one thing to call out. Now, I finally did get my portable CD player as a kid, and I was freaking excited. My first two CDs were The Offspring, that I think it was their self-titled album, and then the Metallica, the Black Album.
Yeah.
So totally stoked. And then I've got it in there, and I'm used to when I had my little cassette Walkman in, I could go ride a bike through the mountains and it never miss a beat. Did it sound as clear as a CD? Of course not. But you can't, especially those early portable CD players. If you take one step on even the best portable CD player when they were first released, it skipped constantly.
Yeah. Well, I never had the nice Walkman, man. My Walkman would mess up when you moved it. It was like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I think I did have a decent walk. It was that popular little yellow one that actually said Walkman Sport on the side.
Oh yeah, that one that was like waterproof. I remember seeing that in the catalogs. It's
Yeah,
old school
yep.
tech kitties. The
And that thing now goes for like $500 on eBay because I was thinking about getting one.
No
Mine
man,
is like long gone.
like they can like, dude, they can. I'm sorry, like and then like in vinyl, everything's on vinyl, and people are like vinyl sounds so good. Vinyl sounds like ass. All it sounds like is scratchy, dusty crap that gets in the needle. I had a whole bunch of
It
vinyl.
sounds like nostalgia.
I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I used to think that vinyl sounded good. It sounded like dog shit. It was crap, man. And it was just, and it would skip as much as CDs, and it never sounded as good. And it wasn't portable. You can't take like a freaking LP and set it in your car and drive down the road while you're trying to do that thing, man. They had the art for like, I had a whole bunch of stuff. I had like Sgt. Pepper. I had like Led Zeppelin 2 and 3. And they had Led Zeppelin and all kinds of crazy art. They had like Led Zeppelin 3 had a wheel in it that would turn and all that kind of stuff. But like, as far as listening to it, hell no.
And that's exactly what it is, man. It's the collector's aspect. Like there's of course some vinyl snobs that are going to say it sounds better. They're lying to themselves because the remastered, like where you can actually hear everything in perfect clarity does sound better. Now, records sound good in my opinion, but it doesn't sound better. They sound nostalgic. You want that imperfection when you're listening to it, and that's part of the fun. But you're buying it for that collector's aspect. That's why I still buy cassettes, VHS, and vinyl just because they're just them in the case is like a nice little art piece. I've got over there my VHS of Batman '89, the original one that I got when it was first released for my birthday back when I was like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years old, and the Prince soundtrack along with it on cassette.
Yeah, I think I wound up tossing a bunch of cassettes and stuff like that in the garbage because it was just like, and then in VHS tapes too, because I was just like, I got a DVD player and I was just like, fuck this trash.
Yeah. And now DVDs are pretty much obsolete, and so are CDs because everybody's just downloading the digital. They just got that.
Well, let me tell you what I do. I have a 2003 Camry, and it's got a CD player, and that factory sound system sounds great. So but I got like a stack of blank CDs, which cost nothing now, $5 for like a freaking mountain of them. And like whenever I have stuff, I'll just burn it onto a disc and then just throw it in the car, man. I've got like a stack of just like burned CDs of all the albums and stuff like that, man. Nice. If they get scratched up, I'll just go burn another one. No big deal. I might eventually get a Blu-ray player for my computer. But
oh yeah. They don't even sell, like modern PCs don't even have a disk drive at all.
No.
Crazy.
I had to
you gotta buy one and figure out somewhere to put it.
Yeah, get a case or like get a USB USB one or something like that. Yeah, they don't even I had to find a case that had a slot for a disk drive because they don't want anything like that on there. And I'm just like, man, I remember when you had to put them 3 1/4 floppies in or whatever.
For everybody tuning in, this is a Terminator discussion. We just got off track a little bit, but that was a lot of fun. So especially anybody younger checking this out, you don't know
no idea what we're talking about, man. It's like, what?
But let's say hi to the chat real quick. We got Quizmaster herself, Emily Kruger, stopping by. Hail to you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Always good to see you in there. And the Master WC. What is going on, man?
WC.
Finally a good Sunday stream, I'm glad you're here, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's a great compliment.
Now, let me go ahead and pull up some slides. So we're going to talk about tonight, and I know it's a little bit of a long time coming. The show's been out,
a couple
4 months now?
Yeah, something like that. 2, 3, something. I don't know. Time is meaningless. When you get older, it just all blends together. It's been out for a while, but damn, it's good. Really good. If you haven't seen Terminator Zero and you like the Terminator, if you like Terminator and the Terminator and Terminator 2, watch this anime.
Yes, and it actually infuriates me. This show pissed me off to the point I couldn't even think straight. And I'm going to tell you exactly why right now. The reason is ever since Terminator 2, they could not make anything even as close to as good of this in live action since T2. They got close with
I like Salvation. I like
Salvation. That's what I was going to say.
I like that one. I like that T600 design.
Yes,
and they had one,
and it had a good story.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. I was looking forward, and McGee knows how to direct action. Man, that helicopter crash at the beginning was like one long take.
Oh man, the casting I thought was pretty good. Because there's no way they're going to be casting Eddie Furlong as an adult John Connor. That's never going to happen. That poor dude.
Drugs.
Yeah,
it's like he doesn't even look close to like the last time he sort of looked like he did was like what I remember. What's that messed up movie? Oh yeah, American History X, when he was in that. And then and then I didn't see him, and then I saw him, and I was just like, who is that? Ooh, dude, get some exercise, man. Eat healthy. Stop doing drugs. Bad.
Mm-hmm. But this show takes the whole. I haven't seen the series taken in this positive of direction since maybe the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah,
which still had as much as I really love that show. It still had a lot of plot holes and a lot of problems, but it was good. But since then, we've had
Lena Headey was great. And
she was
Sarah Connor, man, she was freaking awesome. That's where I knew her from, and I was like, yeah.
And man, you want to talk about a complete. You want to see Lena Headey actually in a character you are rooting for and that you like, as opposed to Cersei in Game of Thrones. Go watch that because she's awesome. She's really, really hot in that show too.
Yeah, she is.
Dude, and she nails the character.
Yeah.
Only problem, she has a little bit of a hard time keeping the convincing American accent through the whole thing. It slips a lot, which when you go back and you watch even like X-Men with the first one with Hugh Jackman, his accent's slipping constantly. So it's pretty typical with the younger foreign actors when they're first starting out. They can't hold it. And it takes a few more years of practice.
And I always got, because like she had that look, you know, where she did the one eye squint, that look that she would have doing the show. It was just like whenever when I saw her in other stuff, I was just like, wait, that's the chick from Terminator. Oh yeah, cool. And I said I could always, because it was like the facial expressions. Brian Austin Green was in there too, and he's freaking good.
Yeah, he was really good in that, man.
Yeah, I forgot. I was like, dude was on Beverly Hills 90210. Now he's a freaking badass.
That young chick that played the sexy protector Terminator, she was good.
Oh yeah. Good. Summer Glau.
Yeah. But again, this is a Terminator Zero discussion, so we'll go into that. So what did you expect when you first started watching the series?
I wasn't sure.
Like, were your expectations high, low, or were you just like, it was just something to kill some time?
I thought it was going to be pretty good. I thought it was, since it was going to be an anime, there was just something that I got a good vibe from it when I heard about it. And then I started watching it, and I just had a feeling it was going to be good, because it was interesting, because you're not used to seeing the T800 or whatever model. It's T8 something. I'm not exactly sure what the number is for this one, but it's drawn like an animation. You're always used to seeing like an actual like metal skeleton.
Right.
So it's like, that's a little bit, it's a little weird to get used to, but like I fell into it seamlessly. It was like, I don't know. I just had a good feeling about it from the get-go because I was like, this is made by Japanese people. I was like, this is probably going to be freaking good.
Yeah, it was actually an American and like a America Japanese like
collaboration.
Collaboration. And I'm going to tell you, my expectations were nothing. I had no interest in watching this. It was actually you when we're having a conversation and you convinced me to give it a try. But coming off the heels of Dark Fate, I'm a massive Terminator fan, and that was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Genesis, it was forgivable, but it was silly.
It was terrible.
It was so dumb.
It made me so mad that they went from Salvation to that. I'm like, exactly. Oh, God. And then here Arnold Schwarzenegger, oh, the fourth one sucked, because I wasn't in it. No, it just showed that you don't have to be in the movie for it to be good.
Yep.
And that dude who played Kyle Reese was like, Kyle Reese, he's way too big to be Kyle Reese. He doesn't look anything like him.
No, he did not look like what's it, Sean Bean or Michael Bean. Is it Michael what?
Bean.
Michael Bean. Okay, I always get him and the British one that dies and everything confused name wise. I think Salvation suffered because that was the first Terminator without Arnold Schwarzenegger. So a lot of people weren't willing to give it a chance. Then there was the thank you, Sir Obsidian, Michael Bean, Sean Bean. Gotcha. And they're spelled totally different too.
Yeah, Sean Bean.
But it was there was the first one without Arnold Schwarzenegger, so it suffered for that. Then there was, all the rumors about all the drama on the set, and
but it had Christian Bale in it. I didn't
Christian Bale losing his fucking mind.
Yeah, he like flipped out, but he just he had an episode. We've all had him, and I'm just like, he is so dedicated to his craft and everything like that, man. And I was just like, Christian Bale is John Connor. Man, Christian Bale could be anything and it'd be good.
I got to tell you, who stole the movie for me, who I consider the main character, was Sam Washington's character is the prisoner.
Sam Worthington. Yeah.
Sam Worthington. Yeah, from the Avatar movies.
Yeah.
He killed it. And
he was good.
Man, and him saying the fucking line, the come with me if you want to live. I know that's member berries. That's some, fan service, but I'm here for it. I thought it was good.
No,
I liked that whole movie. Okay. The Genesis was just campy, goofy, but it was enjoyable. It's not one I go and rewatch, but
Dark Fate was just like, it's just that like these typical. It was just this typical. Hey, did you like these movies? Fuck you. Here you go. That's what that was.
Oh, Sir Obsidian. By the way, he came up with the phrase in the first movie, now adopted to the T800. Care to know what it is? Are you talking about is it he came up with the phrase? I think he's talking about Michael Bean. Is that the come with me if you want to live? Hey, Hellhound. Yeah, just tell us which line you're talking about, Sir Obsidian.
It's either that or I know Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had problems
Hellhound.
saying, I will be back. So he said, I'll be back. And that's why it sounded like it did.
Hellhound, if you want to pop in, man, I'll send you the link. Now, Genesis, it was just, that one was just, it was almost like they adapted Terminator into a kid's franchise at that point.
Yeah,
it was so goofy.
There was like what, the 2 minutes of Arnold fighting young Arnold. That the young Arnold was, that was kind of cool. But
that was cool.
Again, I think it was better in Salvation when you see him I liked it better in Salvation because they got that bodybuilder dude who was has a physique like Arnold back in the day, and then they just CG his face on there. And when he opened up that door, man, that was pretty cool. It
was cool. I do not hate Genesis at all. And the teddy bear scene,
Salvation, Genesis, I have grown to despise that movie, and I'm just like, what's her name? What's her name is Sarah?
The one playing Sarah Connor again from Game of Thrones,
Amelia Clark. Yeah. It's just all of it. It's just the whole movie was miscast, and Dude, I could go over and over and over again how that a school bus would not flip end over end like that. It would crack in half
Mhm.
before it did that.
It is definitely a flawed movie. But again, I don't have like crazy hate for it. I think I can understand why you do, because how much you liked Salvation and would have liked to see that story progress. And I agree with you. It's like they can't just stick to a straight timeline. Terminator 3 has already been wiped out. Then there was Terminator Salvation, which was just supposed to be a continuation of Terminator 2. Now that whole storyline.
Well, Salvation actually took Terminator 3 in. It actually, Terminator 3 happened, but the way that it's referenced in when Sam Worthington's character is being put to death, it's 2003 before the bombs drop.
Gotcha.
So it's actually pretty. It makes Salvation makes Terminator 3 better than it was, the way that they reference it in that movie. Because Terminator 3 is a parody of like Terminator 2. Is just
Terminator 2 is my it's right there neck and neck with Dark Fate as ones that I absolutely despise, and I feel
Terminator
like just
3,
completely run. Yeah, Terminator 3 and Dark Fate are the two franchise killers in my book. Salvation and Genesis get a pass.
Yeah, I watched Dark Fate once, and I don't much remember it, and I'll never watch it again.
No, I was rage watching it, so I was like just sitting there cussing at the screen half the time. Ended up I had to stop halfway and go get a bunch of beer because fuck that movie.
Yeah, it's trash. Seeing you, I was sober. I had no.
Salvation is my 3 after 1 and 2.
Mine too.
Yeah, I agree.
That and Sarah Connor Chronicles is up there too, because Sarah Connor Chronicles is its own timeline off of Terminator.
Yeah.
Man, and all these bullshit shows that cost all that money now, and then Sarah Connor Chronicles got canceled back in the day because it cost too much money. It was super popular, man.
It was. That was during the Fox Apocalypse, where they were taking all of their top-rated, shows that cost a good amount, and they were seeing other networks make money off of reality, and they were starting to cut costs and skim down on quality program and replace it with bullshit. Yeah. And that's what they did in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was Fox has done some stupid stuff back in the day. Man.
Oh yeah, we're talking.
Look at Alien,
Firefly, so many great shows that they just yeeted for no reason. But back to this one, I'm going to show the trailer here in a second so people know exactly what we're talking about. This thing is probably the best piece of Terminator content since T2, in my opinion. And it doesn't even need to piggyback off the legacy of John and Sarah Connor.
All you have to do is know that in the future, Skynet,
they exist.
Attacks humanity, causes a nuclear apocalypse, and then they have machines called Terminators, infiltrator units that go and hunt down all the remaining humans. That's all you need to know.
Just the baseline. If you've seen and understand the Terminator movies, even just to a point, I was watching this with my wife who she's seen 2, she's never seen 1, and she watched the Sarah Connor Chronicles with me. So very kind of in passing watched it. She didn't sit down and watch it. So she knows the baseline of the show. And out of everything she's watched, this has been her favorite. And she's not even a big anime fan. She likes it to a point. She doesn't hate it. She's just sometimes it's just not really her jam.
Yeah.
Now,
some people
she was supposed to be sleeping before going back to work, and she stayed up watching this whole damn thing while I was doing a refresher. And wants to come home and watch it again. She's going to stop watching horror movies in October to rewatch this series. That tells you how much she liked it. But we're going to watch a trailer real quick. It's only about 2.5 minutes.
Welcome. What What makes you think humanity is worth saving?
Knowledge is power. If you understand something, it can never truly control you. Skynet will come online. In an act of self-preservation, it will enact nuclear strikes. I believe that humanity still has a fighting chance. I believe that you have the power to change our fate.
Skynet has sent a Terminator back in time. You are the only one who can do this.
Tell me where Malcolm is. If the Terminator can't get to Malcolm, the children will be its next target.
Malcolm, what are you scared of?
Judgment.
August 29th, 1997.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the world comes tomorrow.
So another reason I wasn't willing to give this a chance until you convinced me. Not only coming off the heels of Dark Fate, was it's Netflix. I liked the trailer, especially the use of that Smashing Pumpkins song. I thought that was good. Throwback to that era. But yeah, I also worried about like she's the only hope. Like, oh yeah, of course she is. But we'll get into the female characters because when female characters are done right,
Yep,
no shits
right,
to be given. They were awesome, and
exactly.
You only see the one. There's actually two female leads that steal the show and do a great job. They don't girl boss it out even for a minute. We'll get into that shortly.
Yep.
First, I want to address some of the chats here. Sir Obsidian, did I see the making of the first T movie and how the running was like? No, I have seen some documentaries about it, but I don't remember anything specifically related to the running. If you got a clip from that, I'll bring it up here. Another one from Sir Obsidian.
That was the first time I saw boobies back then, man. My brother ran it, and I was like, even though it was Linda Hamilton, but like it was like, hey, man.
Hey, Linda Hamilton.
Hey, it's better than National Geographic.
Yeah. I think Roadhouse was my first.
You know the dude in Roadhouse that's showing everybody his wife's tits. That's the voice of Starscream and Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, that's Chris Latta, man. That's crazy. I had no idea.
I had no freaking idea. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and see if I can recognize the voice.
It again, man. He sounds just like Sparkplug, like when he was doing that voice. Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Is Rise of the Machines hated because 2 should have been the end of the war? If so, I concur. But the TX was kind of cool given the powers. Yeah, the TX was interesting. And what's it? Christina something or other. I can't
Christina
remember her name. Loken, yeah. She was supposed to go on to do a whole bunch of stuff, and
she didn't do none.
Kind of didn't. No, she did Blood Rain, and I think that ruined her career. I think so because T2 was a great end of the story. It didn't really need a third, but
T3 was like a parody. Everything was like silly. They put on a stupid ass get from the. Hey, let's put the Terminator in a gay nightclub. That'll be funny.
Yeah.
Give him
the sunglasses.
Glasses.
It was just, I think it's also hated just because it's a really bad movie. And like you said, it was a complete parody. And it kind of, it took away from the seriousness of the franchise, and the stakes were just kind of thrown out the window. Having Sarah Connor die unceremoniously of cancer off screen was dumb. So many problems.
She read the script and it gave her cancer.
Oh shit. Is this production IG? Not seeing a lot of
it's
a lot of the
production
third.
IG. Yeah, there's a little bit of 3D mixed in with the 2D animation.
Very subtle, not enough to screw it up. Because sometimes I don't like that. When it's done right, it's fine. I've seen some good,
like Dragon Ball of it. Superhero.
Oh,
yeah, that looks awful compared to Broly.
Looks like a statue from Hideo Kojima. Yeah. So I go into this very low expectations, got blown away from literally start to finish. The opening scene is a chase scene between this one. It's kind of hard to determine who the lead character is because it's more of an ensemble.
Yeah, good.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. You get a fight between an infiltrator unit, whatever I read somewhere. It's not a T800, it's a T8. The number is slightly different, maybe an 8-9 or 9 something or whatever. But the infiltrator is like, it shows up, like, what does it go in the sewer or something like that? And the dog starts barking, and this chick, man, like, has to like fend off this thing through this crazy action scene. I heard some people bitching about because the thing grabbed her ankle and literally it weighs like a ridiculous amount and would have just ripped her foot off. But I can suspend my disbelief enough for that one thing to like let it go, because it was pretty cool. They get into it's a big fight in a big open some kind of open pit type thing with staircases and stuff. It's like almost like a grain silo, like a giant grain silo.
Yeah. So it starts off with a chase scene. Now does this girl come off a little OP at times? Yes. You kind of suspend disbelief, like you said, because she's raised in that environment. So she's dealt with these things her whole life. Whereas when the Terminator is sent back in time, which she eventually is as well, he's just off in cops left and right with his bare hands, but actually struggles with her. That's a little unbelievable, but it gets a pass. And she's an imperfect hero. She
gets all messed up, and she's messed up and got all kinds of stuff in her head and everything, man. And I can deal with it, because if you remember in the Terminator, when Sarah Connor asked Kyle Reese, what are the women like? And he goes, tough, good fighter, strong. That's what basically what he describes her as. And that's what she is, man. She's like been raised, like, she's been raised in the dirt, like, in the sewers and the tunnels, living like rats,
Right. And then another thing, then the next, like, I guess you would say lead characters are Malcolm, a human scientist living in current day, 1997 being current day, and his 3 children. So
and it's in Tokyo, they're in Japan. I think it's Tokyo.
Right. Another good aspect of that. So while Malcolm is working,
Angeles, man.
And Los Angeles is the location of where Skynet is going to be born. Here within the next, I think the next day, basically. They only have about 24 hours left.
Yeah. It's a day or two. And he's got his oldest son is a tech whiz, takes stuff apart, rewires it, does all kinds of stuff. He's just a total gifted tech whiz. Then he's got a daughter, and is it the younger son or the daughter that's youngest? I can't remember which one.
Yeah, there's Kenta is the oldest son, the one who's kind of a technical prodigy, but also kind of a dick.
Yeah, he is. Keeps wanting.
And then Rika, right, the youngest daughter, and Hiro, the youngest son. I actually, Hiro was my favorite of the 3 kids. The little girl's cute. She's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. The oldest boy's kind of a dick, and we're going to try to do this discussion as spoiler free as possible. I know it's been out since August, but it's surprising that how many people haven't watched this.
Yeah. Well, I can understand the franchise is like damaged, like just about beyond time. I have never rode the T2 Battle Across Time.
I've wanted to, but I've never even been to Universal Studios. That's on my
Yeah.
bucket list, man. Now, so you've got the family, and that's another thing that surprised the hell out of me about this show. You have a very strong family dynamic and a very positive look at a father, which again, that's not something we get to see in most current day content we get, but they didn't shy away from it. It's definitely a father's love for his family.
Yes, it
and
is.
that actually takes over from his main mission. His mission is, without giving it much away, he knows what's going to happen, and he's trying to prevent it by creating in Japan a alternate AI to combat Skynet, and either through force or by convincing it or just aligning itself with the humans, can save the human race from Judgment Day. But in order to do that, the way he has to make this whole plan work is he can't just make an AI and program it to think the way he wants it to. He has to convince it.
Right. He's got he's got to show it the value of humans and why why they
so
shouldn't
well.
be exterminated. Yeah, it's really good the way they do it.
And the AI he created isn't buying it at first. In fact, it pushes back. Well, why do you think the world's better off with humanity? Look at your history. Yeah. They ask a lot of profound questions, and they do it really, really well. So let's see. Got some more slides. Pull up another picture here. We already got her. So
Kokoro, that's the name of the, isn't that the name of the AI is Kokoro?
Kokoro. Yeah, Kokoro is the AI he's working on. And then we have Mizaki, the surprise third, probably, I would say, the actual lead of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's the live-in babysitter for Malcolm and his kids. And she gets pulled into this whole thing, doesn't really know what's going on. There's a lot going on with her, which I'm not going to outright spoil it, but you can probably figure it out pretty early on. And it's, again, done extremely well. And her character, you really empathize with throughout the whole thing. And again, another female character done really, really well. So we've got two female leads that are just crushing it. If this thing were made back in the 90s when people didn't give a shit because we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we watched all these other shows, and none of that mattered as long as the characters were well written and made sense. This would be kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they didn't have to tell you that it's strong female character that's good. You know, if you have to tell people that, then it's not really good.
Yeah. And the female characters actually looked female. That doesn't hurt either.
And she's like the kid's nanny, like their protector and everything. He's going. The dad is going to talk to the AI to try to convince it to say the value of humanity before Judgment Day comes. So she watches them. He's a really great character.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with all the characters. The Terminators didn't have much character development because they're Terminators. They don't really need it. You know what they are. Now, visually, they were done exceptionally well. Let me see if I can pull up another slide of them. Like, here's the Terminator that's going back in time has just been created. He's right here on the screen in the center shot. You get to see the exoskeleton get put into its human flesh suit, basically. And as he's walking out, you see all of the other infiltrator Terminators just sitting there on standby.
What do you think? Come off an assembly line? Exactly.
Yeah, you get to see the assembly line. It's so freaking cool.
Like that. You've seen that teaser for Terminator 2. I saw that in the movie theater back in, maybe it was, when did Terminator 2 come out? 1991?
That's a great question. Let me check.
And that teaser came out. It was either in 90 or maybe 89, and I saw it in the movie theater, and it shows
91.
Yeah, so it was like, I think it was like early 1990. They put out that little teaser, and it shows the endoskeleton going through the assembly line, and then they put it in the freaking the little human cyborg tissue generation.
You know,
thing.
that's too freaking cool to bring up and not watch. So hold
Yeah.
on. I think I got it right here.
I love that, man. I saw that and I was like, oh shit. See, this is how you do a teaser, man. Right there. That's 800 series model 101. That's how you know what's up, man.
So freaking good, man.
Yeah.
All you need right there, man.
Yep.
I'll be back.
That's it.
That sold the movie right off,
Oh,
dude.
I saw it, man. And I had watched probably not too long before that. I had seen the Terminator. My brother, we rented it and watched it, and when I saw the scout, I was like, wait a second, is that a Terminator? Oh,
Dude.
hell the lore. What's up, dude?
Oh, dude, right on, man. Yeah, they don't know how to not just do teaser trailers, just trailers in general. They just give away the whole movie.
Hey, let's give away the whole movie, man. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But coming off that trailer, because the 90s were freaking awesome, we had this. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Right after that Christmas, we got this.
Oh, that's dope.
I thought this would be the commercial for it. This guy actually still has this.
Oh. Oh man, you know, since it was Kenner in the 90s, man, the colors were blind you.
Right? Yeah, they used neon on everything.
Yeah, everything in the 90s was neon. It all looked like Saved by the Bell threw up on everything.
I'm gonna mute it so I don't get hit by that. So we don't get hit for the Terminator soundtrack playing in the background.
Dude, this is freaking cool.
Oh, right on, dude.
Awesome.
Hope you had a good dinner.
man.
I thought this would be the commercial for it. Oh man, he's even got the Terminator car back there. That's something I did have. I didn't get this because my mom rightfully knew I would just make a massive mess with this shit.
Yeah. Oh man, it looks so happy to see you. It's smiling, right?
Let's get to where he pulls this thing out. I want to see what it looks. The final product looks like here. Okay, now he's just playing with all his other fucking toys. I just want to see this. Ah, man, he didn't quite work out. Probably because that stuff's like pushing 40 years old.
Yeah, man. It's
So-
probably like, you know, when you get like some old Play-Doh and that stuff is, it looks like the Arizona desert.
Right. Well, going back to Terminator Zero. So again,
Yeah.
we're going to try to do this as spoiler free as possible. So we know the Terminator gets sent back to stop Malcolm, and then what's her name? The female soldier, Iako, I hope I'm saying that right, gets sent back to either protect Malcolm or also stop him in her own way. I'm not gonna kind of give too much away there. But there's so many twists from start to finish. Some you see coming, some you really don't. So we'll just get to favorite parts of the show in general. What do you got, man?
I just thought it was the one thing that was kind of pointed out to me, man, and I kind of noticed it after a while, since it's in Japan, there's not a whole bunch of guns, and so he has to go and make him some homemade stuff and like have it, like you saw in that trailer. He's got a crossbow he like makes to shoot, like it's basically like a little mini rail gun, and like impels people.
Yeah, he's shooting little like basically nails. So
yeah,
and they all have to do that unless they steal a gun from a cop or off a cop and then steal the gun. Yeah. They don't have guns.
Yeah, because
so
the cops have like they got a chain for your wallet.
Yeah.
They got it to their gun. I was just like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and they're just standard issue revolvers, nothing special, nothing that's going to do any real damage to this thing. So she's making like using sulfuric acid in jars to try to stop him. Using Molotov cocktails. I tell you, dude, if this thing was live action, it would. I mean, dude, it was so good, beautifully animated, but the fact that they wasted all their great high budget live action Terminator content
on that garbage, man.
Crap.
Yeah.
Even stuff that I enjoy to a point, like Genesis. If this is like the true successor to T2, like even though it's not even really, it doesn't, other than just existing in that universe, it's not a tie-in to that story.
That's the thing, man. You don't have to have Arnold Schwarzenegger to have a Terminator movie. And like what I always said, you don't have to have fucking Ripley to have an Alien movie. Because that's why they kept putting it on like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Yeah.
The worst thing.
Yes. But if you just have put something out like that where you don't have to have, and Arnold Schwarzenegger in there. That's why this is good, man. And I don't think, and these things, man, these are like
basically the helper bots. They've pretty much got to a point. They've got robot helpers that you'll see in the opening scene, or probably like the first chunk of the first episode. One of these things is in a raincoat walking a dog that gets all rambunctious and gets away from him, and it's just running after the dog. The dog causes a car accident, killing a guy, and this thing could give two fucks. It's just sitting there. Its prime directive is the dog. Just
watch the dog, man. It don't care about that. That's right. I forgot about that.
Come back. So when these things get as harmless as they come off, the minute something changes in their programming and they go hostile, they're intimidating as hell. I think it's because they have that little cutesy, harmless design. What up, Vagabond?
Vagabond.
But man, great freaking show. And what do you think? Do you think that they're gonna do a season 2? They've pretty much set it up.
Yeah, I hope they do. I don't know how that works, man. Surely they will, man. If all this other trash they put out keeps getting 2 or 3 seasons, surely they can put out another season of this. Eventually, hopefully people are gonna start watching this. Look, I know Derp Fate freaking killed the franchise. Yeah, and then James Cameron's talking. I heard him saying something like last month or something about Terminator franchise. Like, look, man, you were involved with killing John Connor, which was why you said you hated Alien 3 because they killed your characters. You did the same thing and killed your own characters.
Mhm.
You're an idiot. Go back to play with the blue space monkeys or whatever.
And you know what? They did that in Dark Fate. That wasn't like, oh, we just want to move the story past these.
That was a
characters.
conscious thing to make sure that
They know what they did.
Yeah.
He was replaced with, more current day acceptable, savior of the
the Mexican
of
chick.
the
And then they
future.
had they had the dude killing a border patrol agent. I was like, oh my God, get out of
Yep.
here. This dog shit.
Oh, the whole movie was an allegory for current day politics.
Yeah,
And it
was awful.
took you out. It ruined everything. This story is just all about Terminator lore and expanding that and giving you new areas to focus on that you may not, because the John and Sarah Connor stuff can't be the only thing going on in the entire this entire story. There's other people, other things to go into, and this does it freaking perfectly.
Yeah, in another country too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Especially where guns are scarce. So they're like running around and go back in time and they're running around trying to find some guns.
Mm-hmm. And the stakes always feel high from start to finish, where unlike the newer Terminator movies, everything with the exception of Salvation, everything after that just kind of, like you said, made it kind of a parody, kind of silly, just kind of, popcorn action. You don't really feel like anything.
I'm not invested in anything, or I feel worried for anyone's safety, except for mine watching it.
And killing off John Connor at the beginning of Dark Fate, it's just like, okay, now I just don't give a shit. And you can pretty much call everything that's going to happen. This thing keeps you guessing. Some things are predictable. Other things towards the end, you probably won't anticipate.
I had no idea all the way to the end. I was like, where is this going to go? This whole thing, man, all of it kept me going. I didn't know where it was going from one episode to the next. I was just like, where are we going here, man? Which was cool because it was nice to not have something that's so predictable that you know exactly what's going on. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Another great thing this whole show had going for it was the score, the music in that moody Terminator-esque music. They did straight rip off that they only used dun 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 once or twice. They didn't overdo it. It had its own original score that still felt Terminator, and it keeps you so fucking dreadful throughout the whole thing. Just that.
I got to rewatch it again. I got to rewatch it again so I can get. It's been a couple of weeks since I watched it. I watched it twice all the way through, and I have to go back, and I just remember the music being awesome.
Yeah, the music's
really great. The animation's you get a feeling incredible. You get it's good mood creating music. Like you get a sense of dread.
Yeah, through the whole thing. The voice acting was, I only watched the American version, which there's not really any, since it's a joint project between America and Japan, there's not really a reason to, unless you just want to watch the Japanese version, which I might do now that I've seen it 3 times. But the American voice acting is fine. And sometimes with anime, you get your American voice actors and they're way over the top and not as good. This one was fine.
It was fine, and I'm not a weeb, so I'd like to sit back on the couch because I don't want to have to put my contacts in and I gotta pause and read everything. I can't do it, man. I'd like to, it's nice to sit back. I don't want to have to read every single thing because if I watch stuff, I got to read every single thing. I can't leave it out because I don't speak Japanese. So, and it's hard for me to tell the difference in Japanese voice acting because they all sound the same to me.
Very, very loud, very screaming. And I think that's why the American actors tend to overact, trying to match that energy. But there was no need for that in this.
Except for the chick that does Goku, I can pick her out and everything because Goku always sounds like a girl because it's a girl, it's a woman that does the voice.
That's why I prefer the English. I I like Goku to sound like a grown man and not like a, prepubescent boy / woman when he's an adult.
Yeah.
But I know that gets me a lot of shit within the DBZ
dude,
fan groups.
Look, man,
I've
been watching DBZ since it came out, and like I prefer the original Ocean dub with that metal opening.
I do
which
too.
I'm sorry, that metal opening crushes that shitty Head Chala song that came out with it.
Rock the Dragon. That's how shit, man.
I know, man. That's how they got it. They were just like, "Wait, we got to sell this to America. Give me that guitar." And then the music for the show was just somebody playing like guitar with a lot of some reverb and stuff in it, which sounded dope.
And the voice acting, I'm glad you brought up the original voice cast. I liked that a lot better, especially Piccolo and Vegeta. When they I still miss that original Vegeta
that was Scott McNeil that did Piccolo, and Vegeta was Brian Drummond.
So much better.
Way better. And it was a lot of the same voice cast that was in Beast Wars, that was in that original run of the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z.
And I think they had to switch it. That had something to do with the studio moving to Canada or from Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
The studio was, the voice actors were all Canadian because it was up there. They did that. Some of the same dudes that were in Beast Wars, and Funimation decided to do it in-house instead of having to fool with that. So that's when they got those people that were.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not all that great. Yeah, that dude, the older brother, man, he keeps wanting to. I'm just like, man, seriously, if that was my brother, I'd been and punched him, man. Stop trying to take shit apart.
I know. Yeah.
I just wanted to smack him just to make him stop. Give me the thing. I just want to take it apart and just, and use all. And
especially by the end of the show, and a little more about what's kind of gonna come from him, you really don't like him. Like fucking Kenta. He's a pain in the ass. The other brother, he's cool. Again, she ends up stealing the show. I hope I'm not giving away too many spoilers just by showing some of these screenshots.
Yeah, man, Misaki is awesome.
And just the family dynamic. I think I've touched on just about everything I can think of with this series without giving the whole damn thing away.
No, right? Unless we go into it. I did put spoilers in the comment section. I didn't know if we were going to do it, so I just put spoilers in there.
You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Fuck it. So if I had a spoiler button, I would put it up. But from this point of the show on, we are going to be just going right into spoilers. So this is a good stopping point right at the 1 hour mark. If you're tuning in, stop the show, go watch it, and then you can come back and join us afterwards. But anyway, getting into it. Go for it, man. Let's let her rip.
Yeah, so it's like you first see the fight between what's her name? Iako or
Iako.
Iako,
the soldier
future,
from the future.
Yeah, the future chick soldier. They had the fight with the T-800 or the T-9, whatever the number is. I might have to look that up because it's going to bother me. She gets back to the resistance headquarters after she gets rid of that bot. And I believe is at the point that's a different infiltrator than the one that's sent back in time, isn't it? Or is it?
Yes.
It is
that's a
total different one because
the one from the beginning. So when it's holding on to her leg, when she's trying to get away from it, she uses that opportunity to pull out a device, jam it into his eye, and upload all of its programming so that they can kind of know what the machine's next move or next play is going to be.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then she takes that back to the resistance base where and if I had a picture of her, I'd bring her up. This older woman that I think if they do a season 2, I think it's really going to tie more. They're going to bring a few more elements of the film series into it story wise without drowning out this storyline. but I saw some hints there. She's kind of like a prophet type older woman. Seems to have a lot more knowledge than everybody else, if you know what I'm saying. Right. How did she get there? How does she know the shit she knows? She's the one that convinces her to go back, and she's telling her, I believe it's her sister and her sister's son, you know, what her plans are. She's gonna go back in time, and they're not gonna see her again.
And in the way that they explain the time travel, you go back in time, you're not gonna change anything for us. That's gonna create a whole nother timeline or another breach. Yeah, the way that they explain it. So it's like they're talking about like Skynet's not, it's just wasting its time going back in time because it's all it's doing. Even if it succeeds, it's not going to affect anything here.
It's just creating different timelines. And I think they may have done that as a way to say that this story isn't going to change anything for the movies. That way it can be self-contained. I've always hated that time travel. I like the time travel stories where you go back, it actually does have an impact on the future.
Yeah, I know, right? Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I don't care. That's what I prefer. That's my storytelling.
Yeah.
I can respect the whole, the splintering, the new timelines. They're doing that to death in Marvel right now.
Oh God. I didn't want to think about that, but yeah. So she goes back, and as she is going back in time, an infiltrator. Wait, is it that same infiltrator that from the beginning? It comes back, yeah, because that one still
shows up. It shows up. It's got the cracked eye.
It starts killing everybody, man. It just wipes them all out while she's going back in time.
And she gets to see all of her friends and family getting wiped out right as she's being sent back to 1997. Yeah. And we pick up with Malcolm and his family. He's having nightmares about
Judgment Day,
about the future and Judgment Day. And his mission has been, like I said, to create this alternate AI and convince it, letting it be its own entity with free thought and free will, but convincing it to save humanity. We'll get to that since we're in the spoiler territory in just a minute. But
yeah,
he's there with his family. He's about to go to work. They just lay out all the development really quick, but effectively. His wife had died. So he's a single father, working a lot, doesn't get to spend a lot of time with his kids, but he's secretly trying to save humanity. So fuck them kids. They'll be fine.
Yeah. And he's got basically the nanny, Masaki, is the one that she takes care of the kids and all that. And we get that's around the time where I think she picks up, she's out doing some shopping or something and buys some kind of robot cat, brings it back. And the little girl likes it. And then the douchebag kid keeps wanting to take it apart. Wants to take it apart and turn it into something else and like that. And
the minute dad sees that, he's like, nope, get that fucking thing out of this house. No robots in the house. And the kids are rightfully confused because he works for a robot company. Like, what the hell? This is his livelihood, but they can't have any of that. And the nanny, Masaki, she only bought the cat because she knew they were approaching the anniversary of the mother's death. The mother had a cat. She loved cats. So she empathized with the children, especially the little girl, and wanted to bring them something home to kind of make them feel better about that anniversary, since dad wasn't going to be able to spend time with them. But dad being kind of a dick, but
yeah,
you understand why.
He's got a day or two before Judgment Day happens, and he's got to convince his AI that humanity's worth saving, so he can stop Skynet from wiping out 75% of the planet. Right. And while he's having the discussions with his AI, what's it called again? Kokoro. It's even arguing with him, saying, well, there's more than enough people left over to keep your race going for at least a few decades. You don't understand. The entire planet, it's humans eating humans. We devolve into the worst kind of
people.
Yeah.
There's whole areas of the planet that no living thing can step foot on without dying instantly due to the radiation.
Yeah.
So he's really having to get this thing to empathize with him. And it's a long process, but it does pay off at the end. So back to the cat. The douchebag brother Kenta is trying to take it apart and giving the little girl a hard time. So she takes the cat and sneaks off. And that's when they have to, the kids sneak away. One of my favorite scenes, though, that led up to that, because Masaki, the nanny, is sitting there cleaning fish, preparing dinner. And the little boy asks her, like, "Oh, you're good at that. When did you learn how to clean fish?" She's like, "Oh, I grew up on a fishing village. I've been doing this my whole life." And then she just like freezes, doesn't move for like a second or two. And you start seeing tears rolling down her face. And then she slices her finger. So, you know, something's up there.
Yeah.
So it's while she's tending to her wound and kind of staring at the mirror, like confused. That's when the kids take their opportunity to sneak off, the brothers, to go find the little sister who's using some abandoned tunnels to try and make her way to an old theme park that they used to.
It's like an underground, like little theme park thing that they had there.
Right. The path leading to theirs, I think it's like an abandoned subway station.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Which I guess if you're in Japan, that might be a common thing. They explain it really well in the show.
Kind of like the Atlanta Underground without all the murder.
Exactly.
But, yeah, and
go ahead.
They go after her because they know where she's going to. What are they? Cat Town? I guess it's a place they used to go with their mom. And so the two boys, they go there. And on the way there, that's when where they see the giant freaking warehouse full of those helper bots, like that whole storage room full of the helper bots.
Yes, and Kenta decides it's a good opportunity to activate one of them.
Yeah, so he starts like taking it or messing with it, turning it on.
Mm-hmm. So while all this is happening, Masaki, after she comes to, realizes the kids are gone and calls Malcolm, who's in the middle of talking to his AI and trying to get it to prevent Judgment Day. She tells him that he gets interrupted by his employees. They tell him he's got a call from the nanny that the kids are missing, freaks out. And the next scene is, of course, Iko showing up from the future. Or Iako, however you say her name. At the same time, so is a Terminator. The one we saw from the beginning. Yeah. So Malcolm and Masaki are then in the next scene in a car trying to go find the kids. Malcolm already knows where the little girl's headed because of the memory of their mom going to this place called Cat Town in an abandoned theme park. That's when all shit goes nuts.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I'm going fuzzy right here. What happens next?
The freeway scene.
Yeah.
So they're driving and out of nowhere, you just see a road worker come out, just walking, but then the fucking dude turns around and when they hit him, it's like, oh shit, we got Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Malcolm immediately knows exactly what it is.
Yep.
Masaki's freaking out because she has no clue.
She has no idea what that man or something like that. And it's yeah.
And they almost get taken out by the Terminator, but Iko shows up. There's a pretty cool little scene of her ramming the Terminator with an 18-wheeler, making this crazy, the 18-wheeler is going off the ledge. She runs, gets out, runs up it, and jumps back onto the freeway overpass. Probably not something they could have shot in real life, but it worked in the animation. Would have been a lot more unbelievable in live action.
It was an anime movie. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, visually great to look at. Malcolm disappears, but Iko takes Misaki hostage to go find the kids, tells her what's up, and they make their way to the tunnel, but Iko's wounded. The Terminator during this struggle had shot her in the shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. And then they go, and she either pulls the bullet out or stitches it or something like that. Misaki does, and or she.
Yeah, she cleans the wound. We don't know if there's a bullet in there, so I think she's just stitching it up. But Iko even asks her, like, "Wow, you're really good at this. You've done it before?" And she's like, "No, never done it before in my life."
Yeah.
So they're already giving away like she's good at stuff, but doesn't know why. So you can see where this is going. So they eventually get the kids. They're interrupted by the Terminator. There's a really creepy interaction between the Terminator and the little girl. She's there with the robot cat, who the Terminator had already hacked into this cat.
Yeah,
at this point,
that's right. He had hacked into the cat so he could track them because he went to their apartment and he saw the box, and so he looked at the barcode, scanned that, and then was able to like remote like Wi-Fi hack into it or something. And
that was another cool scene. The Terminator just stands there after scanning the box, opens its mouth, and makes that old ass dial-up sound.
Dial-up sound. I was like, oh man, the sound of extremely slow porn. Yay. Yeah. The sound of the 90s. I think I see a boob.
We had to work for it, folks.
We had to work for it back then, man. And that was after we had to work for it. Before we used to have to pay Wino to go buy us porno mags, man, before the internet. Kids don't know how lucky you've got it now. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And the way he was talking to the little girl, that was
such a creepy scene, man.
God, it was creepy. It's just like, what are you doing?
Oh, and you know who the voice was for the Terminator 2, right? In the English version, that's Timothy Olyphant.
Oh, it was Timothy Olyphant. Oh,
from like Justified.
Yeah, Justified. Yeah, I watched every season of that show.
Oh, that was a great freaking show, man.
Yeah, it was.
Now,
I didn't realize.
So we get to during the struggle with the Terminator, and they're trying to escape. They made their way up into what looks like a shopping mall, and we've got Iko with the little girl and Misaki with the two boys. They're separated, but that's the only way to get away from it at this point. And she ends up able to blast him into a elevator shaft and escape with the little girl. They go one way, the boy and Misaki go the other. And Misaki takes him to a police station, thinking that's the only way to stay safe. She still doesn't really know what's going on, even though she's been told. And Terminator shows up. There's a big battle at a police station because, of course, there is.
Yeah, that was a little wink and nod. Yeah. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
remember that police station scene?
And the fact they even put the Terminator at this point into one of those motorcycle cop outfits.
Yeah,
so
that was
definitely a toss up to T2.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I prefer Blue-Eyed Scorpio. I prefer Sheriff Bullock in Deadwood, or the audit video producer girl in Girl Next Door. Speaking of Oliphant, oh yeah, no, dude, I think he's good in just about everything. Girl Next, he was such a sleazebag in Girl Next Door, man.
I heard he was a complete and total dickbag to work with, though.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard.
And most of them are, though. This good actors are. You can guarantee they're probably complete dicks in real life, especially if they're really, really good at what they do. And I like Timothy Olyphant, so.
But then again, I think I remember it was Kevin Smith that was saying that, and he used to say that about.
Fuck Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith hated Bruce Willis. He's like one of the only people that ever hated fucking Bruce Willis, except for the chick that he did that moonlighting with, just because she thought it was supposed to be her show and not his, and he stole all the thunder. So, fuck Kevin Smith.
Sybil Shepherd. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's got a worse reputation than he does, if that tells you anything.
Yeah. That's a biatch and a half, man.
So let's go ahead and get into the first major spoiler, which a lot of people saw coming, is Misaki. During the fight, she ends up losing her arm.
Yeah,
and
in
it's
the
revealed
police station, and they when she's in there talking to the cops, they're like, "Who are you? There's no record of you. There's no nothing, no birth certificate, no nothing. There's like no record on you.
You're a ghost, lady."
Yeah.
I right at that scene, I was like, called it. She's a fucking Terminator. I knew it.
Yeah, and then when he ripped I gotta all right, I gotta find out the model number.
I wonder if it tells me on IMDb. Well, while he's looking that up, it is revealed that she's not human. She doesn't even know what she is, but she's definitely more than what any of the other Terminators.
Yeah, because he's looking at her and he
far.
doesn't know what she is. The Terminator is looking at her and doesn't know what she is.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
He's
she
like,
even
I think
fooled Eco.
Yeah, I think it says unknown or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find some pictures here. If I could actually share.
Ico. EIKO. Malcolm Lee. Kokoro. I have no idea.
Apologize for the silence. Just getting something else pulled up here.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what that model is. It's like a T8. Oh,
So this scene right here is when Kenta, who now knows Terminators are real, everything. That's another big sign to what's to come. Is the little girl even knew, as she's running away with Eco, that was a Terminator, wasn't it? And she looks at her and says, "How do you know what that is?" So the kids already know just as much or a little bit like their dad does as well. So in this scene, Kenta gets a gun from some thugs that attack them that she just dispatches effortlessly in a pretty cool scene. And he wants to kill her, because she's not human. And if it weren't for Hero, he probably would have done it. Right. And then through that little altercation, she's able to convince them that she still cares about them, because she's definitely not. She's sentient. You got to get that right from the go. She has feelings.
She's crying and she doesn't know what she is.
Right. And this is what we get to. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. That's what's shown. Oh man, another thing. This show does not shy away from the gore whatsoever, and it is
man,
fucking
it's like
glorious.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of brains and headshots and freaking nails through the skull and all that kind of stuff.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Walter. So did we. I think it was, again, the best Terminator content we've gotten. Now, I'm going to let you take it from here, since you were pretty psyched about it as far as the ending and that final twist. What'd you think of that?
The whole thing, it was. There's a point. Let's see. Have we gotten there yet, or we want to keep going in between?
Oh, well, yeah. Let's go ahead and go. So, once it's revealed that she's a Terminator, we get her backstory as well. Malcolm is still trying to convince the AI to save humanity, Kokoro to save us, and Kokoro, who's kind of a feminine type entity, she says to him, "Well, I feel like you're hiding something from me. If I'm going to help you, you have to trust me and you have to tell me everything." So that's when he comes clean. And the other big reveal, he's from the future as well.
Right. He grew up in the future and wound up. He didn't he take the processor from like one of the infiltrator units, and then he built his own and was trying to teach it stuff. And it was basically, you find out that he built Masaki.
Yep. Over a long period of time.
Yeah, a long period of time. And then like he was part of the resistance.
He was doing like the same stuff his kids do in Kenta in the future. He was scavenging for parts, taking processors and things away from the Terminators that are destroyed, and secretly building his own, because he realized the fighting was completely pointless.
Yeah.
The only way they could ever
was to get them to understand each other.
Yep.
So that they can coexist and, not kill each other.
Yeah, because he knew that while the Terminators were just mindless machines, the actual being behind it, the Skynet, was a sentient, force, something that did have understanding, logic, reasoning, everything else, something the Terminators didn't. So that's what he was trying to build through Masaki, was a completely self-aware artificial intelligence.
Right. And what happened was the people in the resistance came in, found out what he was doing, trying to destroy it. He winds up killing a bunch of them, and there's no place for us here. So he goes back in time.
Mm-hmm. After a really great scene when the generals of the resistance catch him and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And they're immediately like, nope, you are fucking up. They're gonna kill Masaki and then put him in prison.
Yeah.
So in an act of desperation, he takes them out. He gets a gun away from one of the guards, shoots them, freaks out, and then the only thing he can do is I don't remember. Did he take Masaki the entire unit? Because at this point she actually has a face. You can see some arm.
Yeah. And I want to say she had hair too when they went back in time.
Okay. Yeah, he finishes building her and then he goes back in time completely.
Yeah.
And that's where we pick up. Walter, one great child character is a rarity. Multiple is damn near impossible. That is 100% true.
Yeah, you kidding.
My God. And they did a good job making each kid both reasonable, kid-like, and naive, but well-equipped mentally for the world. I agree. And you like some of the kids more than others. You don't hate any of them. Like Kenta gets on my nerves, and he's my least favorite kid, but he's important to the story and for what's going to happen with him later on as the story progresses. I like Hiro the best, but all three of the kids, they did really well, and they didn't make them overly obnoxious. You don't hate any of the kids, even the little girl that kind of fucked shit up in the beginning. So they did a really good job with the kids and that family dynamic I keep talking about. When we get to that end scene, you can see it coming a mile away, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. Man, that stings bad.
Yeah, man. When they so Malcolm winds up falling in love. How does his wife die?
She's in a bus that there's a terrorist attack on a bus.
That's right.
And that's why the little girl doesn't like public transportation.
Right. He winds up falling in love. They have 3 kids, and she gets killed in a terrorist attack. And he works at this company. So what he decided was to make a AI that he could use to like stop Skynet from carrying out Judgment Day. So he takes basically Masaki's memory chip. He might take her whole processor, and he uses that as a basis to start to make the AI Kokoro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's such a good scene too, because she has to give it up willingly, knowing that she'll be wiped out down to ground zero. Like when he takes away all of her memories and basically her essence, and she reboots is a clean slate. He has to tell her, your name's Misaki. You work
Yeah.
for me. You're the nanny. And she just accepts all that. So
Yeah.
now you know why she was freaking out when she cuts herself, because the memories that she has, she doesn't have. She's just told, you grew up on a fishing village. Oh, okay. And then she's standing there when she's questioned about it, freaks out because she has no memories of it. Or when she freaked out in the police station too, being told there's no record of
No
it.
record of me. She didn't understand any of it. But yeah, so the whole thing was at this point, so that's kind of like the showing what happened to get where we are. Then basically Kokoro, the AI, is like he's to go to the next step, he has to like bring her online.
Mhm.
And that way she has access to everything. And at that time, it's like right at the time, isn't that right at when Judgment Day happens?
Right before,
right before, and then all of the nuclear warheads are launched, and basically Kokoro takes control of all those little helper bots and makes an army, and basically just if anybody like tries to stop them, interfere them, they just get mowed down. The cops just completely outgunned, man.
Yeah, you see these innocent looking helper bots just go completely aggressive.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers everything. Now the end, there's the big face off when he's still trying to convince Kokoro to stop what she's doing and help them, and the Terminator has the kids and is trying to convince Malcolm to open the doors so that
yeah, and he lets him stay out there, and basically the Terminator is like gonna start torturing Kenta, is what he's saying, to get him to open the door, but he doesn't open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then he drags him off, and is like, at one point, I believe he's like, "Stop struggling, or I'll break your leg or your arm," or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, here's the pictures from the flashback. Let me share these real quick. Yeah, this is the birth of Misaki. And this is right when they go back in time. And yeah, you were right. She was fully assembled when they go back in. And as far as the ending, now that was one episode I didn't get a catch during my refresher today. I remember that Malcolm ends up sacrificing himself for his kids, and that is kind of the tipping point for Kenta as well. Seeing that act of selflessness.
And also a twist where the Terminator tells Kenta that he is going to be the bridge between he's going to team up with Skynet to take down Kokoro. Isn't that right? In the future?
Right.
And I didn't see that coming and he's pissed at his dad because he left him out there he assumes to die.
Yeah.
With the Terminator. But in reality, his dad goes out there, and to teach Kokoro about the value of human life, he sacrifices himself for his kids.
Yep.
And everybody winds up at the same Aiko, the little girl, the two, all of them are there at the same time. And he looks up at Aiko and goes, "Hello, mother."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Yeah, so she's his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Aiko's Malcolm's mother.
Yeah.
So, shit.
Great. And I think, let's see, after that, Misaki gets the kids, and then they go underground, if I'm not mistaken. And that's how it kind of ends going to season 2.
Mm-hmm. Now, being that it's animation, it's probably going to be I don't think we'll get a season 2 before 2025, 2026 at the earliest.
Yeah.
I would say with going by some of the other Netflix animation, I think there's going to be a 2-year gap. So this came out August 2024. I think we can expect it maybe summer 2026.
Yeah. That sounds
If we're
about
real
right.
lucky this summer, but highly doubtful.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be a second season. I'm hoping this thing is kind of a sleeper and people figure out what's up and it becomes.
That's the power of brand damage.
Yeah.
So as good as this is, there's not a single hardcore Terminator fan that I can imagine wouldn't enjoy the shit out of this. But all of the brand damage done by Dark Fate, I wasn't going to watch this, even though the trailer looked fine. As there were enough little signs there, oh, it's just going to be some more Netflix bullshit. Netflix can make things look real pretty on a trailer, and then you watch it and you're like, no, fuck this. It completely ruined something I love. Like Masters of the Universe Revelations is a great example of that. Beautifully animated show, great top tier voice acting, but modern day bullshit ruined it with the writing and the storytelling.
I kept seeing Japanese names in that trailer and I was like, this might be pretty good.
And you were right, man. I am grateful to you for bringing this to my attention. Well, let's see if we got any updates on the season 2. I didn't even realize that I'm going to show this in just a second, but the poster for Terminator Zero that they were putting up on billboards was a complete spoiler for Masaki. Terminator Zero renewed for a second season at Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So it is renewed. There we go. Comic book resources. So CBR, not one of my favorite sites, but we'll pull it up and see what they got to say about this. Netflix Terminator Zero reportedly gets major season 2 update. Terminator Zero is the latest iteration of one of the most successful science fiction franchises of all time. Netflix series' first season had an overwhelmingly positive reception, but a recent leak from the streaming service itself provides a major update for the iconic IP. Per What's on Netflix, an independent Netflix news site that reports on upcoming releases, new additions to the catalog, and what will no longer be available. A post from one of Netflix many regional X, formerly Twitter accounts, let it slip that the Terminator anime will be returning for a sophomore season. The seemingly accidental leak, which came from the Netflix Latin American account, showcased the anime along with the phrase Terminator 2 season 2 in Spanish. I'm not even going to try to say that. Although the streamer has not officially announced its release, it appears that Terminator Zero will make its return sooner rather than later. Okay, so nothing definitive as far as a date, but we do have, it's definitely definitive that we are getting a season 2. So that's some great news there.
That's a good deal because it is good. But you're right, man. The power of brand damage, just like
and Dark Fate. There's only a few things I can imagine that could hurt a franchise more than that movie. Like, oh my God, man. Like, that's really hard to go back from. And I think the fact that it was so bad and it had both the return of Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then the director going to battle, fighting with YouTubers publicly before its release. None of that helped.
Yeah, I heard bad stuff about it. So I was like, at first I thought James Cameron is going to be involved. And then I was just like, what has James Cameron done? Yeah, not a whole lot. Like Avatar. Man.
Dude, anytime I hear like, oh, the original person's going to be involved, I don't take that seriously.
Yeah, that's like with Ridley Scott and Alien. I'm like, get that lunatic the fuck away from Alien.
That's like saying George Lucas is involved with Disney Star Wars. Get the fuck out of here. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, Ridley, some of them, they're just the stuff I've heard James Cameron saying stuff about like the stuff about it's hard for women. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You had Ripley back in 1986. You just get the fuck out of here. And Sarah Connor in 1991. It's a nonsense. Trying to pretend like they got, they hadn't been strong. It hadn't been awesome female characters for forever. Oh, be right back, dude.
Oh, take your time. We're fixing to wrap up here pretty soon anyway. One way we like to close the show, if we're talking about a beloved franchise, go into some of the classic toy commercials for that, because that's something that we had in the 90s. No matter how violent or not appropriate for children the movie was, or the franchise, we always got toys. So let me go ahead and pull one up while he's taking a bathroom break. Oh, this is something I didn't know. Terminator Salvation even had a figure line. I never checked that out, but I'll go ahead and pull up the commercial here.
Terminator Salvation. There's no salvation, just termination. Skynet and the Hunter Killer have the Resistance on the run. T1s, T600s, T700s.
Marcus Wright's in trouble. We're outnumbered.
Resistance A-10 Warthog to the rescue with missile-firing action.
Fire. Come with me if you want to live.
Man versus Terminator, and the Terminators are winning.
I'll be back.
Terminator movie figures and vehicles, each sold separately.
Okay, I gotta wait for him to come back because the figures are a little subpar, but those vehicles are fucking dope. And, if you guys end up checking out Terminator Zero and you want something, you go into a little bit of good Terminator withdrawal, this is something else to check out. Not as good, in my opinion, as what we just watched, but still solid. Better than Dark Fate, better than Genesis. Again, I liked Genesis, but let me pull this up instead here. Whoops. Killed my whole screen. And I think this is free to watch. I want to say it's on Tubi. Was on Netflix for the longest time. So I'm not sure where it is now. Hopefully it's not on Hulu.
In the future, my son will lead mankind in a war against Skynet, a computer system programmed to destroy the world. It has sent machines back through time.
Walter, I agree. Ridley Scott should just retire. I'm going to go see Gladiator 2. I don't have any expectations of it being good, but I'm going to go see it because I like Denzel Washington. That's really about it. And dude's getting up there in age. He's still in his prime, but he is getting up there. So, any movie that, looks remotely decent that's got him in it, I'm going to check it out.
Some to kill him, one to protect him.
Come with me if you want to live. You want to stop Skynet? This is the way.
You don't know who builds it.
No, but we know where and we know when. We can go kill it before it's born.
Where are we?
Same where, different when.
There are other people sent back from the future.
Resistance fighters.
You don't even know who this guy is.
He's your uncle.
Don't let yourself think that you can train them like a pet.
She was different. She saved my life.
know the records are in here. We need them restored.
No, you don't. It's a waste of time.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hide it.
Not pleasant.
If you pretend not to know me, I might shoot you in the head.
You're John Connor.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Welcome
man,
back, Diesel.
I forgot about
We were
that
just-
fight between Summer Glau and the other female Terminator, man. And they both do a great job at being robots. They're just,
You know who the other female Terminator is, right? The actress.
no, I don't.
That is Shirley Manson, the front woman from Garbage. One of my
no, you're talking
biggest high
about
school.
you're talking about the T1000 one.
the T1000. Yeah,
Yeah.
the one. Oh no, the other one in the elevator scene. This chick.
Yeah.
Now this show got because it was TV. It was still a little bit on the campy side, just a little, but it's still so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this whole series, man.
That was the
Especially
chick-
after watching Zero. There she is, Shirley Manson.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the chick
damn, I
from
skipped
Garbage.
just a little.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, dude, she was so hot back in the 90s.
She was a total Scottish redhead because she was so pale you could almost see through her.
Yep. I've seen them in concerts multiple times. I would always get in the front row back when I was a kid just because when she'd sing and be wearing the short skirts. Oh, yeah. That's where you want to be, man. I have no shame.
Hey, that's all good. I don't either, man. I'm a recovering alcoholic, dude. Man, every now and then I remember stuff I've done, and I'm like, ugh. It's
Now, I was while you were gone, I played a commercial for they actually put out Playmates of all companies, put out Terminator Salvation toy line.
Oh, those toys were terrible, dude. Those were awful.
Really?
Yes, they were dog
The
shit.
vehicles, these vehicles look pretty damn good though. The figures look like shit, but
I never saw the vehicles, but the figures were shit.
solid.
Now, I used to have a NECA 18-inch T800 endoskeleton. It was cool. His eyes would light up, man. And I wound up having to get rid of it. But yeah, those things look like, man. Now, there was a Hot Toys. You know, the original T600 had a rubber mask on it, and for some reason, like there were pictures of it that were going around where it was like in the rubber mask, like in the movie, they edited it to make it look all burn off so you could see like the metal skull underneath it, but they had it like it had a rubber mask like that toy right there. But there was a Hot Toys figure that had that, but like, you know, I didn't have like $300 or $400 or how much to get that T600. Because remember, like the T600 had rubber skin, we spotted them easy. And, that's what was so cool about Salvation when that T600 has got it was shooting all over the place with a minigun, and then the freaking 101 comes up to it and just rips it in half because it's in its way.
Oh yeah,
that was dope. And that was Stan Winston before he died did the designs for that movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was the last thing he did before he died.
Damn. That did look great. I love the creep factor on those enormous with the pulled skin, so it's like they weren't passing as human, but they still like, you know, tried.
Yeah, they were I may even have, let me check this one folder. I used to have that picture saved. I'm gonna see if it's in this one thing I used to keep.
While you're looking at that, I pulled up, this is a Terminator 2 toy commercial from 1991.
Terminator!
I'm back.
got to find John Connor.
But evil T-1000
That's
Hey, back off!
Terminator's heavy metal psycho zeroes in and fires. But T-1000 stands to get even.
This is for getting on my bad side. You're next, John Connor. I'm back.
Terminator deploys his secret weapon.
Hasta la vista, baby.
his secret weapon. He launches his skin at him.
Is back.
Dude, I had that one. The figure was badass looking, but it had this ridiculous mechanism where its whole face and torso snaps forward into a completely unnecessary rocket launcher. Even as a kid, I was like, why can't they just give us figure like movie accurate looking
Give him
figures?
they probably couldn't get the rights to like make an Arnold Schwarzenegger looking figure. NECA.
They looked pretty dead on. The Kenner ones were pretty good. The likeness that they had for all three of the main actors that you got John Connor, you got the T-1000, and you got the Arnold figures, and they all look like Robert Patrick and Furlong. Did you find that Hot Toys you were looking for?
No, I was looking for the actual set picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to have that, but I'm gonna see if I can't Google it. There we go.
All right. Just go ahead and share your screen when you're ready.
Yeah, all right. Let me see. Oh man,
Actually,
it's one of them. Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on, let me. Those WebP images, whoever does that, so we kick them.
Oh, I know those piss me the hell off, man. Because then you have to go into like a paint
open
program
paint
and convert it.
because I can't function with anything more than 5 buttons.
Yeah, see the likeness on these old toys. I had this whole set for the most part. That exoskeleton was my favorite, though, man. I kept that thing on display pretty much all through high school.
Hold on. Let me look at that. Hold on. Oh, cool. They got some dude, the little NECA figures. I've got a few of them, man. Like I've got a Dutch Predator and then like a Predator figure, like the little 7-inch NECA figures, and I got some Alien figures. That's like that Alien Queen I got is like from NECA.
Mm-hmm.
They look just like Schwarzenegger and
dude. NECA is freaking great.
They are great, and they're cheap too, man, compared to like when they first come out. Now, like that T-800 endoskeleton I had that was an 18-inch tall when I paid $40 for it, and then I got rid of it. And now I'm like, the cheapest one I saw was $200, and I'm just
exactly. I've got the 18-inch Michael Keaton Batman. I got that. I think that was about retail. I got it right at cost, so it's like $60, not bad. But now, like, I was trying to find the rest of the set, and they were all at the same price at release. Now they're like 200, 220. I think the Penguin is like 400. It's like, oh, guess I'm not getting those.
Here we go. Let me. That's how it looked before they. Yeah, that's how it looked before they. In the movie when they released it in theaters, they cut that rubber skin up. See how freaking inhuman that looks? That's so creepy looking. Way
great
creepier.
Design, man.
I know, right? And they messed it up by making it, giving it this. They went back with CG and cut most of that rubber face off, and that looks way creepier when you
way
see
better.
It. Yeah.
You got any others?
Let's see.
Well, while we're sitting here, have you watched Gundam Requiem for Vengeance yet? Because I saw that on my Netflix recommendations when I was rewatching Terminator today.
Oh, Requiem for Vengeance?
Yeah, the new Gundam show. I think it's new. Let me see when that came out, because that might be a good topic for next week.
Oh, man, I have to check it out. As long as it's not the Witch from Mercury, I'm just like, what, Japan, you just, I don't know what the hell happened with that. Like, usually Gundam series are pretty good, and that was, have you ever wanted to watch high school girls and then occasionally get in a Gundam mech and pilot it? Yeah, that's what we want to see.
I wonder, this just released this year, so it's not that old. It looks like it came out.
Is it a movie?
Oh, it just came out, yeah.
Is it a series? I knew at one point there was a movie.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we want to watch this, Diesel. I'm gonna show you an image right now. Let's see if this is gonna be worth our time. We may have to find something else. I don't know about this. I don't know.
That looks like ass. Oh golly. Oh, that's terrible 3D, man. Oh
my god. Let's see. We've got typical shaved, swoop-haired girl boss in the front. We got the black dude over here. Nothing wrong with that. He looks fine, but then what is going the goofy, derpy white guy in the back?
Yeah, and we got the soulless CG. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about
whatever
this.
you're gonna call it. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give that the middle finger based on that one image alone.
If anybody in the chat has watched this and can actually back it up that it's worth watching, let us know. Otherwise, we'll try to figure out something else for next week.
Yeah.
Well, we're right about at the 2-hour mark. Is there anything else you want to talk about as far as Terminator before we wrap up this evening?
I do have a couple of I'll tell you what. Let me share.
If you got some videos, anything you want
I got some images of some
I didn't even see you say that, Walter. Come with me if you want to live also makes a great pickup line. I don't know if a good pickup line, if the girl you've met has seen Terminator and gets a reference. Otherwise, that can sound a little wrong. Come with me if you want to live.
You friggin'
kind of sounds like you're not giving her a choice.
Yeah, that's the
I haven't seen it.
That's the Hot Toys, man.
Dude,
that's pretty freaking dope, man. I want to say that thing was like, it was either $400 or $500 when it was new, and I was like, I know it hadn't gotten any cheaper. See, that's the way they did it in the movie. That's the way they did it in the movie. That look at that, and then look at so much creepier.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah, man, they messed up doing that, like setting it on fire or something. It's like, yeah, sure.
That's the T600.
T600. Yeah. Much larger than the
it's actually gone down. Well, no, it hasn't. eBay, it's going for $388.
Yeah.
So here, I'll pull up mine real quick.
That's pretty cool.
Damn, that's a pretty cool figure though.
Yeah, it is, dude. It looks dope. But I don't know about $400 though, man. I'm like,
No.
no.
If I were gonna save up and get a Hot Toys Terminator, I'd have to get your typical T800 Schwarzenegger T2.
I'd get the endoskeleton if it's
that would be the next one.
That one I want to say. I think there should be a lot of die cast in that. There's Stan Winston. Only set of Terminator 3. Here's a size comparison for T600.
Okay,
Hot Toys.
that's a big boy. That would be
way bigger than
pretty damn good on your shelf.
And I think that is the T, whatever the Sam Worthington's was. I think that's the one on the right. Maybe it was the T. I forgot what they called it. It was like a prototype or something. I think that was the Sam Worthington one right there.
Yeah, because he was basically.
Yeah, it had his brain there, but they put a chip in it.
Yeah. He still had an exoskeleton, but he had a heart because at the end he gives his heart to Connor.
Yeah, which was a little bit. They had a different ending for that, where they were going to kill John Connor or something. People found out online and were just like, "What the shit are you doing?" And then they changed it, which was a smart move.
Yeah, especially if they wanted to. And I still wish that they did. And the way they are doing movies now, if this movie had a big renaissance and kind of went cult where people just started appreciating how good the story actually was, they could, in theory, continue this story even now, just ignoring Dark Fate, Genesis. I mean, every Terminator movie ignores everything else anyway.
McGee had plans for 2 more movies in the future with like a future war.
And that's what we want. No more time travel.
You could see the dude had freaking the action scenes in that movie were fantastic. That helicopter man. And I saw it in the movie theater, and the sounds that harvester thing made were like vibrating the seats, man. And that whole shot of the helicopter when it was spinning around, and it was just one continuous shot when it's crashing.
My favorite scene, and I know it was fan service, but when Christian Bale's John Connor's on the hijacked motorcycle, takes the boombox blasting GNR.
He plays the guns that play. You Could Be Mine. That was actually pretty cool.
That was such a cool man. That I audibly cheered in the theater when that happened.
Yeah, that was pretty dope, man. That was
of all the
Sam Worthington
sequels. Yeah,
dude, man, because when he was you remember when he was just like how are you going to get in there? And he sits there and he's got half of his skin blown off and he goes, "Look at me." He just found out that he's half robot or what, cyborg. He goes, and he's just like, "Look at me."
Dude, another one of my favorite lines is when John tells him, "You and I have been at war since before I was born."
Yeah, he plays it. Christian Bale plays it. That's why people got, he made a big deal about him getting upset because a guy kept walking in front of the line. Man, he's played that thing serious. That's why that's what sells it, because it's like serious the entire time.
And man, you think has anybody not been yelled at work? Like, what the fuck? The guy didn't get fired. Nothing happened. Fucking Christian Bale apologized later on. It's like you're on a fucking big, expensive, time crunching project,
and it was breaking his concentration because he gets into his role. Man, that just messed him up. And then after doing it a couple of times, he just went on a rant. And then
shit happens, man. take your licks, talk shit about him behind his back, and move on. It got blown out of proportion, but it made for some great sound bites. I mean, you can walk up and, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
That never gets old.
Da, 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 da.
Oh,
even
man.
that freaking head bust is freaking just, God, it's creepy looking, man.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I'm looking at Hot Toys Terminators on eBay right now. I think I found the one that I would have to go for. If I could only pick one, I would get the T800 from Terminator 1. So I'm not going to get this anytime soon based on the price, but
somebody reanimated all that stop motion stuff. Oh yeah, man. I've got one of those, or I gave it to my brother. Like they got the NECA Kyle Reese in the NECA. That's the Tech Noir, and then they had the police station one. Like that's before he got. See, everybody made a big deal about the crew cut and whatever. That was his hair burn off because he caught on fire in the first movie. It wasn't like, yeah. That's why what I really liked about Salvation was when they showed him walking out of the Model 101. He had the long hair, like he had
the longer hair
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the homework, man.
I didn't know people got pissed about. I caught on to that even as a kid watching Terminator for the first time. It's like, yeah, he caught fire. His hair's all jacked up now.
Yeah. Fuck you, asshole. The thing about it, if you go back and watch that first Terminator movie, it's like it's not even Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. I'm telling you, it's like a completely different person because there's no one-liners. There's no cheese. You know, in Terminator 2, you've got the one-liners and stuff every now and then. But in that one, it's like it's not even him because he barely speaks. And whenever he speaks, it's just like stunted, like robotic stuff that like Cyborg would say. Like what a robot
and
would say.
his accent worked perfectly for that because it was just so like limited and subtle. Now, I found here's a third party. If you're looking for a slightly more inexpensive option to Hot Toys,
cool.
Present Toys.
Hey, it's future.
And this is aftermarket. And this, so it's third party, so they can't call it what it is.
Oh yeah. It's like I know the third party Transformers strip out and the names they come out with.
Yeah, but this is solid, and this is aftermarket price. So when this came out, it was probably only like 170. So if you can get these when they come out, they're a great option for a substitute for Hot Toys, and the quality's there too. I got a Present Toys Henry Cavill Superman. I prefer it to the Hot Toys because the costume is made more of a higher quality soft good than that weird pleather that'll eventually flake off over time, and there's no way of preventing that. There's zero chance unless they actually use like something of like actual leather or anything else, that pleathery fucking bullshit that they put on all of them, it's going to eventually dry out and start flaking off. So I try to avoid that.
I had a fake leather Fight Club jacket that did that, man. I had to toss it, man, because it was like red flakes going everywhere. Oh, check this out, man. I found a there we go. A scale chart. Oh, yeah. I was gonna share.
Oh, dude.
I was gonna do. I got a better picture of that.
Okay, just pull it up when you're ready. I'll take a look at the checks. I always loved Terminator Salvation. In my house, that counts as T3. I agree. That was my favorite until this series, which doesn't really take anything away from Salvation.
You can kind of pretend like there's Terminator 3, but just the description that they give for it in Terminator Salvation is all you really need. That actually makes it way better than it actually is, the way that they talk about it and how they're serious about it.
No, Terminator 3 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I hate that movie so bad.
It's just
I hate it as much as Dark Fate. And
Yeah,
Dark
I
Fate
do
was
too.
the franchise killer.
Terminator 3 is awful. It's freaking terrible. It's like it's as miscast as it's just terrible.
Now I can't remember. I think it was who was saying some of the designs in Terminator 3 are good. I can agree with that to a point.
The thing is, I love the designs in Terminator Salvation because it looks like primitive shit that they would just make. Nothing smooth, shiny, and everything. It's all rough metal. Like like early design stuff. It's functional. It doesn't have to do this. It's not slick. It's just completely 100% functional. That's why everything looks like it's like a rough, like unpolished aluminum or something like that. Let's see, 860. I'm not sure where the other models, the T700 is from Terminator Salvation. The 860. I know the one in Sarah Connor Chronicles was T888, T897. I don't even know where those other three are from.
Yeah, those big ass. These are these bigger ones from Salvation too, or
no? I have no idea what they're from. No.
Yeah, 897. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's like it looks like that's like a Bane version of Terminator. He's even got the whole things coming out.
These might be from other, like maybe some
like
comic books
or something like that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's pretty cool.
Now some of the flying machine weapons I've always liked a lot too. That you get to really the best view you have of them, other than that that flashback at the beginning of T2, is in the Terminator 2 arcade game. That is one of the best gun use arcade coin ops of all time. No, I think it is still the best of all time.
Oh yeah, it's also one of the damn hardest, man. I like it. Ate up so many. I could never get past the one where you're trying to keep the people alive in the back of that truck. I was like, it killed me every single time, man.
Yeah, damn near impossible, man. If they could do an update of the graphics but keep everything else pretty much the same,
that's probably the best rail shooter there is, man.
It is. Let's see if I can find some.
I dumped so many quarters into that thing back in the day because, like, whenever you get, because like they had Schwarzenegger's voice in that Terminator, excellent. Whenever you get ammo or something, and he'd be making them little things. And I want to say, what
Get
kind
down.
of was it an Uzi? Was it an Uzi or was it like some kind of like future plasma weapon or something?
It was like a future plasma gun because you had the button for the grenade launcher right here too, man.
That's right. The freaking I'm thinking about Operation Wolf. That was the Uzi.
And yeah, that was another good one too. But dude, you go into like either an arcade or a pizza place, and that thing takes up like an entire wall.
I love those
because it was a
arcade.
double screened.
Yeah, I love those old arcade games, man. Like that, like it's one of those little mini ones. Are like, I don't know, I can't. They're too small. But then again, it's hard to justify having that giant thing, and it's only one game, and it's taking up half your room.
We need a Terminator game today, like.
We got one. Terminator Resistance. Terminator Resistance. I started playing it and I gotta reinstall it. It's basically like a spiritual successor to Terminator 2 in game form.
When did that come out?
A couple years back, maybe two.
Terminator Resistance video game. I'm looking it up now. 2019. So yeah, it's not really dated at all.
No, it's good.
It's on Steam.
I need to reinstall it and
it still goes for $39.99. So if they haven't dropped the price since 2019.
$39, man. If it's on Steam, I got 2 or 3 websites where you can get Steam stuff cheap, way cheaper than that.
You'll have to send me those links because I got a bunch of games I'm trying to get right now, and I just can't justify spending the money.
Kingwin. Let me find out what Terminator Resistance is going for on Kingwin.
Yeah, but looking at it on Steam, $39.99. Oh, this looks great. Yeah,
$18.35.
Is it an FPS?
Yes.
Very positive reviews. Now that RoboCop game, I really want to play that too.
Yeah, that one looks that one's pretty dope with the friggin' with that.
Here, I'm gonna
hand cannon.
Let's take a look at this real quick because I hadn't heard about this till you just mentioned it either. But I would love a good Terminator game.
You know, I got a link to King one with that right there in the private chat, and there's several of them that you can look through. They have several. They are pretty much cheaper than everywhere.
Oh, right on.
And you can, and that's just the link. I mean, you can go in there and search for anything and check it out. And then,
I wonder if they got Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, they got Baldur's Gate.
So Nate and them are trying to get me to start playing that. Oh man, for 2019, this looks fantastic. I know it's a cutscene, but still.
Is it Baldur's Gate?
Okay,
3?
face is a little wonky. Yeah. They went for stylized as opposed to realism, but that's still pretty good.
No, it looks in game. I didn't get too far, and then I got tied up with something or another. I can't remember what it was, and then I know I had to reformat my computer, and I didn't, and I forgot I had it.
Here they come! Ariel! Take cover! Rocket! Oh!
Having fun yet, Rivers? Through here! Come on! Follow her! Jacob, get up!
Jacob Rivers, marked for termination.
Are you all right, Jacob?
We intercepted some interesting data. It turns out you're part of a prestigious group. A group of people that Skynet marked for termination.
HK Aerial flying by. You need to find a way to get out of there.
I want you to take a team of my soldiers and fight your way to Skynet's defense grid.
Watch out! More of them up here!
We got the plasma weapon sounds too, man. I hadn't gotten to where I get
great.
One. Yeah, I know.
How is this thing a sleeper, man?
Oh, dude, I think it's the same company that did the RoboCop game too.
This looks great
tonight.
Yeah, and the music is kind of like, it's not complete ripoff, but it gives you that feel of that Brad Fidel soundtrack.
Dude, that's pretty top tier. I'm gonna definitely be getting that. Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Have we checked out the Doom Dark Ages trailer? I didn't even know that existed. So no,
you gotta check it. I've seen that. Yeah, it is dope.
Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. We got a few minutes.
Man,
before we do, we saw new Terminator game, but this is still the original and the best. Whoops, there we go. Now, I wonder if they're playing this off of the actual arcade or if this is the Super Nintendo port. Oh, this is like the Nintendo or Genesis port, I think. Oh, no, it's not.
Well, somebody should have put their name as ass. I mean, seriously, that's what you always.
Someone always did.
Yeah, me.
You would see ASS. You would see, and I'm gonna say this slow, but I'm not making this up. In the night, you'd always see an an R, and a G.
Yep.
Every time. Like,
man, people have been like foul, degenerate idiots from like.
Oh yeah. You'd see an FUK.
Yep. I had a.
Looks like this is a full playthrough too, but
Yeah. I always thought it was funny to kill the people. No.
yeah, they'd turn around. No.
No. Yes.
I never got to where you go into the like where you're actually fighting in the present day. I could never get past the future mission.
Yeah, I never got past that truck, man. I was like, I never could find like wait for people that had like a ton of money and let them go further. And so and then when try to slip in.
Well, the farthest I could get was when they would have these things at your at the arcade here in town. Like the school would sponsor like a sleepover, and they'd have all of the arcade games on free play.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that was you would have to take turns, and there would always be a massive line at that game.
Oh man!
So unless you could get on it and stay on it, you never got a chance.
Man,
but that was
that's no good. I'd have been like, look, you can keep your turn. I'm going to sit here and watch it. I've never seen the end of this game. Let's go.
Right. I did see people get. I never saw it beaten, but I saw them get all the way up until like the Skynet warehouse. Yep, that's Linda Hamilton running around. You got to protect her.
Look out! They're here.
You're just going to assume you're just wounding all those cops, right?
Yeah, you're shooting them all in the knees. It was you're kneecapping them. That's a lot of liquid nitrogen.
It is. All right, so before we take off, I do want to take a look at that Doom trailer too.
Oh man, this thing was dude. I still need a graphics card so I can play Doom Eternal. I'm gonna be the only one that's like my PC gets upgraded. Like when I bought this PC, the first thing I played was Doom 2016. So I played that for a couple of months. I was like, yeah. And I was like, it'll probably handle Doom Eternal. Tried to start it, and Doom Eternal was like, nah, your bullshit potato rig is not going to handle this game.
It's not happening.
No, it gave me a message at the beginning. It was basically like, your rig is crap.
Let's see, Doom Dark Ages, and this game hasn't come out yet. I take it. No,
I saw the trailer a month or two ago. It looks sick.
All right, let's take a quick look at that. Wow. Holy shit. No fucking way.
Dude, it's a giant mecha Doom guy, man.
Okay, that's got to be on PS5, right? Yes. Because I'm not going to put my computer through that much torture. That is going to be way too rough. Holy crap, man. Good call on that, Hail the Lore, because my arm hair is standing up watching that shit.
Dude, yeah, I know. That looks sick.
That looks really, really good. Holy crap. All right. Well, I think we had a pretty good show this evening. Anything else we want to go into before we wrap it up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a PC game, Terminator 3 War of the Machines. It was a shooter, but mine had a glitch in it, and I had to install it, and you start out as a resistance fighter, and after I would take about 3 steps, the guy would go, and it would be like Diesel committed suicide. And I wasn't doing anything, but my game had a glitch to where my guy would just kill himself. And like that, I heard the game was so awful. It was probably like my character didn't even want to play it. He just killed himself.
Oh, War of the Machines.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a glitch. I had a glitch in mind. He'd walk 3 steps and then fall over dead.
Yeah, nobody liked that game, and I can see why. It looks like absolute garbage.
Yeah, I think I paid about $3 or $4 at a GameStop in the mall when it was like closing down or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and I understood it, but yeah. Diesel committed suicide. Well, this sucks.
Trying to think what. Okay, one of the other best Terminator games ever made, and this is a crossover game.
Terminator versus
Sega Genesis.
RoboCop.
My fucking God. It was just a simple side scroller shooter, but that game was fire. I love it.
Didn't they have like blue, red, gold Terminators?
Yeah. Yeah. And they were just color swapped, but some of them would have more power, be harder to kill than the others. But man, I love that freaking game. And the tie-in comic book was pretty freaking awesome too.
That is cool. I got to reinstall Terminator Resistance and get back into that, man. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and I never got that far, and then like I wound up having to like wipe my computer and then didn't reinstall it. Slacker.
Well, I found, speaking of RoboCop versus Terminator, this might be a fun way to end the show. I hadn't seen this one before. If you guys are familiar with Epic Rap Battle, here is the Epic Rap Battle between RoboCop and Terminator. This will be my first time watching this, so.
RoboCop versus
Good casting.
I suggest you use your right to remain silent before I show your robot ass some Detroit vibe. I'm like an X-Wing commander, cause I stay on target. I take over these streets, I got my farmer's market. I wonder where the Cyberdyne research went, that they couldn't fix your funky haunted Franz accent. They sent you back to kill a child, use your feeding distills. They should have made a time traveling morning after pill. And I didn't think I had any feelings left inside me, but my heart was surely broken after Terminator 3. I'm RoboCop and I got flow. He roared it out, C-3PO, I got the mic control like all the lead. Your move, Creed.
Wrong. I have detailed files, the conclusion of your trilogy. That movie failed Detroit worse than the automotive industry. I am 800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, and I'll be sweeping up your RoboBits like paper clips when I'm done. My rapping attack is a massive dispatch of bazookas and gas and grenades that rapidly bashes your brains and dismantles that puny pea shooter that fits in your leg. When at the same, you peel away a perfect skin, you find supercomputers. You look like crying wearing a cold pressed juice now. They left off your balls when your suit was created.
I still love you, Alex.
Bullshit! Your sex life is terminated. Based on my detail.
All right, this is actually really cringe. I thought it would be a lot funnier, but it's just not.
Check out this link that I just put in there if you wanted to share that. It is
okay.
The ending of the Terminator. Yeah, scroll all the way back to the beginning.
Okay, let's get the full screen.
Somebody went back and reanimated it so where it's not like stop motion.
Oh,
God. That scared the hell. When I first saw that, it scared the hell out of me. That stop motion was creepy back in the day.
I've always thought so too, man.
Like Ed 209, it was scary as hell.
Man, and somebody could just do this at home on Blender.
I think this is the one that I had seen a while back. I was thinking it was better than this, though. Oh, that's actually pretty good right there. Way better than it was in the...
So far, I still think I prefer the original. The walking's a little better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. There's something just so unsettling about the stop motion.
Stop motion stuff was just so creepy. God, it was creepy. Oh wait, is this in French?
Why isn't another?
Thought something was off. Yeah. The stop motion was definitely. It was just.
This looks good. It looks real good, but I don't know. The
stop motion's unsettling, man. It's something
that just had me like crawling out of my skin, man.
I know, man. That and like Ed 209 and RoboCop. Oh, that was creepy as hell when that thing was walking around, man.
Man, when I was a kid, I would swear I thought they actually built a big robot and it was literally walking around. I watch it now. You know, you can definitely tell it's stop motion.
They did have a
but as a kid,
size. They did have a full-size mock-up of it, but what's hilarious is like, you know, when it first kills that one dude, like in the uncut version, like while he's sitting there on the table, it keeps shooting him for like another 15 seconds. It just keeps blasting him and stuff like that.
Man, that's another franchise I really wish they could get a resurgence of, but that remake, I didn't hate it. The new one with
it was completely forgettable.
Subpar. Yeah, it was just meh. And making the they had a great design when it was that chrome, but then when they spray paint it black, you know, for the stealth look.
Let's give it something more tactical like black.
No, shut the fuck up.
It had no
character.
It had nothing. Yeah, it had no character, no anything to remember. It was no, I'll buy that for $1. No, none of that stuff.
Oh,
guns,
right.
guns.
They didn't do any of the fan I mean, when you look at the social commentary of the 80s that they installed in the original RoboCop movie and not paying homage to any of that was a complete waste. Even though they had good casting.
It was just
Sam
boring.
Jackson, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it was just boring. And
the guy from
nothing,
there
was just nothing memorable about it. It was just like
no.
I'll tell you what it was like when they did that, when there was that Total Recall, that movie they called Total Recall, and it was just like
And even though it had what's his name, dude from Penguin,
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, there's just no character to it, nothing special.
Yeah, no three titties, no nothing, I think. Or were there three titties? I can't remember. They might have had them.
They may have done that, but I don't remember. Or you get ready for a surprise. When I first saw the Predator, that was kind of scary because he took out a bunch of badass muscle bound. Yeah, that's the whole point. Like,
and you didn't see
badass elite group, Dutch and all them, you son of a bitch, and they're all just smoked, and it's just you actually worry about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
like how is he gonna fucking survive this?
And
that's a hard task to have done in the 80s.
Yeah, that was funny. Was like on his profile on Facebook for a long time. It was just like this, that, and then it said, "I killed the Predator."
Sorry, eating ice. Give me a second.
Non, pas là, en arrière.
I definitely respect this. It looks good. I just still think I prefer the original.
Yeah, that stop motion was just messed up looking. Every time you saw it in anything, it was always it was some kind of monster or some kind of something, and it always looked unnatural and messed up. So that's what it made it unnerving.
Yeah. But I'll go conventional effects any day. Puppets, man. I'll just mute this. But going back to like why I think you and I both love the new Alien so much is that use of conventional effects, baby.
Miniatures and all the ship designs, all the detail and stuff like that, and none of that soulless CG.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple of things, couple of CG things, but like just to add to a little bit.
Yeah, CG when done right and appropriately, used and as sparingly as possible is great. I mean, you really can't do it without. And there are some characters that you just have to have CG. They're not going to work otherwise. But now this looks really damn good. Just still don't know. Oh, and I think that's showing the original. Yeah, I got to go with the original.
Yeah, it's just.
This is good, though.
Yeah.
And he did a great job making the light capture the metal and doing the reflectiveness. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Some of these reanimated, like the Star Wars ones. That redone fight scene between Obi-Wan and Vader
and Obi-Wan. That's what I was just thinking about. Man.
That is still so good. Like
it's sick. Yeah,
it's so good. I've known there are people have actually edited that into the movie, so you can watch the whole New Hope with that scene flowing right into the movie perfectly.
Yeah, man, that looks so much. That because that fight scene was kind of in the way that they film Alec Guinness with the lights. The lightsaber looks like it's not even there at times. It looks like it's like fizzling out a few times in that fight scene.
It was so stiff, and I mean they didn't have the choreography that they do today, and it's so weird watching like New Hope and then going into the prequels and where they're
watching
all the
Yoda jumping
acrobatics
all around
and,
the freaking thing. It's
right?
just like, what the hell did Yoda turn into Chun-Li? Bouncing off the walls.
I love badass Yoda in the prequels. I'm a prequel defender. I'll stand by it.
No, the prequels
aside from the
right.
metachlorians, that's the only thing I don't like about the prequels.
Yeah, I like that fight. I love that big freaking Jedi throwdown in that damn Geonosis arena. And
oh yeah, who
that was awesome.
Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
I think that's still my favorite, aside from the really uncomfortable romance storyline.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, probably not as good as Revenge of the Sith, but I still that second half is just great. Oh, looks like the same guy tried reanimating the this eye surgery scene, but it doesn't look very good. That's still one of the hardest of Terminator 1. The eye surgery is just so bad.
Yeah. You got a dead cat in there or something? Like after he's got this like rotting skin, like after he's been in that apartment for like, I don't know, a few days or a week.
Yep.
Fuck your asshole.
So good. Well, man, I think I'm ready for dinner. How you feeling? Anything else we want to touch on before we wrap it up?
I think that's probably about got it.
Cool. Well, we are back.
Terminator Resistance and play it.
Dude, I'm thinking about buying that. It's only $18 on that link you sent me.
Yeah.
That looked legit as hell, man. I am actually pretty excited to give that a try. But we will be back next week. Do you want to stick on this time going in about 6:30, or do you want to go back to 5:30s?
Whichever is fine. 6:30 is cool.
Okay, cool. So
do that.
Back again next week at 6:30, and we got to figure out a good topic to go into. That's why I like this show, because we can go back and just talk about anything. It doesn't have to be current. We can revisit any old science fiction franchises. Doesn't have to be movies, can be TV series, comics, or anime, and go from there. But we'll be back next week. Do you got anything coming up you want to plug, or any other appearances you got scheduled?
I don't have anything scheduled. I don't think. Just this right now.
Cool. Well, you are still that's your first time back after recovering from everything, so it's good to be back, man. And you can subscribe to my channel. We got the Rogues Gallery every Friday, and I'm still working out some stuff with Mr. Burger. I'll keep everybody posted about that. The pitch is being remodeled into something else, and we'll keep everybody tuned for that. And then, of course, trivia over on Mr. Burger's channel. And that's about it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. It's been a good show, and we'll see everybody again next week.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody.
See you guys. And we'll just do a cold close because I don't have an outro yet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hold on, don't go. I hit the wrong button.
I just made me full screen. Yeah, and I was just
right. Sorry about that.
It's all good. And get better about talking about something.
All right, we'll stick back a minute. I want to talk to you after, and we'll figure out for next week. But see everybody. Bye.